What you're about to see is not something you'll find in any fairy tale. In the murky depths of the ocean, there are things that mankind was never meant to discover. But what happens when they are forced to face it? When the myths and legends become all too real? This isn't a mermaid of old stories. No, this is something darker, something ancient, something that's been lurking beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Prepare yourself. What follows will make you question everything you know about the deep sea. The ocean's depths have always held secrets, where ancient creatures remain hidden from the human eye. But what if those creatures were not as mythical as we once believed? The boat creaks as nets full of fish are hauled aboard, but as the net rises, something else becomes visible. A face. Not a fish, but something far darker. At the top of the net, among the wriggling fish, a grotesque face peers out, and the crew freezes. Is it a trick of the light? A distorted fish? Or is something far worse hiding in the shadows? It's unmistakably human, yet twisted and monstrous. Eyes wide in fear, lips curled in a silent scream. As the net rises, the men are struck by disbelief, but soon fear sets in. The creature's eyes lock with theirs. One man steps back, his legs trembling, the others following suit. They slowly back away, unsure whether to flee or stay. The creature struggles in the net, its monstrous form twisting in fury, and a pale hand reaches out, trying to break free. But it's trapped. What they're witnessing is no myth, no tale spun to scare children. It's real. The mermaid's body finally emerges fully from the net, its monstrous form hovering before the men, still thrashing in rage. The creature's eyes pierce them, filled with ancient anger, as the men retreat, fear rooting them to the deck. This creature is no legend. It has surfaced, and it's no longer hidden beneath the waves. The shore is eerily quiet, the only sound being the soft crash of waves against the sand. The sky is overcast, a dull gray casting a melancholy shadow over the beach. As the camera sweeps over the coastline, a sight that seems almost too impossible to believe comes into focus. Lying half submerged in the wet sand is the body of a mermaid. Her tail, glimmering faintly in the pale light, is covered in delicate scales that shimmer as though still alive, reflecting the light in eerie bursts. But what draws the eye the most is the unnatural stillness of her body. The once graceful form of the mermaid now lays lifeless, as if the sea has released her from its grasp after an eternity of hiding its secrets. A man stands frozen a few feet away, his camera in hand, snapping photos at an almost frantic pace. His face is a mixture of disbelief and awe, the scene before him too surreal to comprehend. Her hair, dark and tangled, is matted with seaweed, strands clinging to her face like the last remnants of the ocean that birthed her. Despite the lifelessness of her form, there's something unsettling about the way she's been left on the shore. An alien beauty. Half of her world is gone, but the other is still very much alive. As the man inches closer, the unease thickens in the air. The closer he gets, the more the waves seem to gently caress her body, as though the ocean is reluctant to let go. The air is charged, a strange pull in the atmosphere that even he can't shake. It's a sight that defies every natural law, beautiful, grotesque, and impossible. His boots sink slightly in the wet sand, and his heart races, his mind torn between capturing this once-in-a-lifetime image and the creeping fear that something is wrong. The ocean's quiet yet powerful presence seems to pulse, as if it's waiting for something, waiting for him to look away, to leave, to turn his back. But the pull is undeniable. His camera clicks again, louder this time, the tension rising with each shot. He's just witnessed something that should never have been uncovered, something that never should have seen the light of day. The mermaid lies motionless, but her tail, with its intricate scales, still seems alive in the fading light. He stops himself. This isn't just a body, it's a message. Something ancient, something forgotten, and something that shouldn't have been disturbed. What the ocean hides, it keeps buried for a reason. And now, it seems, the sea has decided to reclaim its secret. The beach is quiet once more, but the air feels heavier than before, laden with an unsettling sense of déjà vu. The body of the mermaid lies motionless as the camera lingers on her once glorious tail. Its shimmering scales, now dull, seem almost to tell a story of a life lost. But something about this scene feels familiar. The man stands at a distance, his camera lowered. There's a strange pull in the air. Could it be that he has seen this before? As he stares at the lifeless body, a sudden wave of realization hits him. This mermaid, her features, her tail, even the way her hair clings to her face, reminds him of something he saw just days ago. The fishnet, the tangled hair, the face of the first one he encountered struggling in the net. He thought he was imagining it. Was this another one of those creatures? Or was it her? The silence grows louder, and the wind stirs the sand around the mermaid's form. A low tide brings the waves gently to her body. As the man watches, it becomes harder to distinguish whether he's staring at a woman or some ancient myth come to life. The boundaries between reality and the unknown blurring with each passing moment. Then his eye catches something in the sand near the mermaid's body. A trail, fresh, barely visible but undeniable. Something or someone had been dragged along the shore. The footprints are too large for a person to have made, too heavy. They seem to follow the mermaid's body, as though it had been moved, or as if something had moved it here. The man moves closer to the mermaid's side. The footprints lead directly to her tail. He crouches down and observes. He reaches out a trembling hand and gently moves a strand of her hair. Her skin is pale, yet there's something oddly familiar about the patterns of the scales across her body. He traces them with his finger and stops when he comes across a mark. A symbol. The same symbol. The same mark that had been visible on the first mermaid he encountered. The one that had been caught in the net. Could this be her twin? A companion? As the man stands up, a strange thought crosses his mind. What if these creatures were not just random beings? What if they were looking for each other? And what if he had unknowingly stumbled into a tragic moment of their ancient, forgotten world? The idea forms in his mind. Could these two mermaids be connected? Were they searching for one another, pulled to the surface by some fate, some unseen force? His eyes travel back to the body in front of him, the same markings, the same physical features. But this mermaid's face is no longer contorted in agony. Instead, it's peaceful. Her body lies in the sand, almost as though she is waiting for someone. Could it be that this mermaid came to shore, just like the first, to find her companion? And now? Was the sea taking her back? Or had something else happened? The man steps back, his gaze drawn to the horizon. He wonders if the first mermaid he encountered had been dragged to the shore, just like this one. Was it possible they had known each other? Had they been separated? And if so, why? A chill runs through his body. The mermaid's eyes, though closed, seem to speak to him. He feels as though her soul is calling out, trying to communicate something important, something he doesn't yet understand. Suddenly, a low rumble vibrates through the ground beneath his feet. It's faint at first, then it becomes stronger, shaking the sand around him. His heart races. The wind picks up. The body of the mermaid twitches. For a moment, it's like she's alive again. Her tail quivers, the shimmering scales catching the light one last time, and then a violent splash of water erupts from the shore, as if the sea itself is rejecting the man's presence. The mermaid's tail sways slightly, as though urging him to leave. But he cannot look away. The mystery is too great. He has to know. Could the creatures of the sea truly be bound by fate, by some ancient force stronger than the waves? Or was there more to this story than even he could comprehend? As the sea's rhythm intensifies, the sky darkens, as if the heavens are holding their breath. The man takes one final glance at the lifeless body, the haunting memory of the first mermaid still fresh in his mind. He knows now that he's not just a spectator to a rare discovery. He's a witness to something much deeper. Something far more mysterious than any legend or myth could ever explain. The mermaids are not just folklore. They are real. And they are still waiting for each other. As the waves crash harder against the shore, the man steps away, but the weight of the discovery stays with him. He may have found one mermaid, but he realizes now what he's truly uncovered is a secret buried in the depths of the ocean itself, and it's far from over. What happens next is even more chilling. Just when they thought they had seen it all, another video started circulating among the crew, a new piece of footage, showing an even more terrifying moment that no one could have anticipated. This time, the creature isn't just struggling against the net, it's more desperate, more enraged, and more powerful than ever before. The men, clad in their waterproof gear, stand on the deck, pulling frantically at the heavy net. It's unlike anything they've ever encountered before. The dark shape within it is struggling, thrashing violently, trying to break free. The sound of the ropes pulling tight echoes through the night air, cutting through the constant rush of the sea. The mermaid's body jerks against the net, her powerful tail slapping against the wooden deck, spraying water into the cold night air. Her screams are raw, desperate, and filled with pure anguish. The men stagger back as the creature's furious movements tear at the net, each twist and turn pulling the ropes closer to snapping. The man holding the rope tightens his grip, trying to keep the mermaid contained, but it's an impossible task. Her wild thrashing is unlike anything he's ever seen. The creature's eyes flash with fury, and as the net tightens around her, the mermaid screams louder, her voice a chilling mix of anger and desperation. One of the men behind him, pale and trembling, takes a step back. His fear is palpable, visible in the way his body tenses with every scream from the mermaid. His hands, which should have been helping, are shaking. He knows they can't hold her forever. Hold it. Hold it. The first man yells, struggling to keep the net secure. But even his voice shakes with the tension. He doesn't understand what he's dealing with. This isn't just an animal. This is something more. Another man, standing behind the first, is frozen in place. His eyes are wide with fear. He's seeing a creature of the sea, one that's always been a myth, right in front of him, struggling to get free. The water is slick beneath his feet, and his legs feel weak as if the weight of the situation is sinking in. The creature's eyes lock with his. There's a cold, ancient rage in those eyes, an intelligence that chills him to the bone. It's a gaze that speaks of centuries of forgotten history, of something that's lived beneath the surface for far too long. The man stumbles backward, almost falling to the deck, as a sudden surge of panic hits him. He wants to run, but he can't. Fear roots him in place. The third man, who had been holding his ground up until now, begins to retreat as well. He grips the edge of the deck, his back to the ocean, hands shaking violently. The sight of the mermaid in the net, her body contorting and thrashing in the ropes, makes his skin crawl. The sound is haunting, almost like a roar, coming from deep within her chest. It's a noise that shouldn't be coming from a creature of the sea. It's something human, yet not. Something primal, dark. The men know they've made a mistake. They know this isn't just some animal caught in a net. It's something much worse. Something ancient. The net creaks louder, the mermaid's screams grow more desperate. We have to get her off the deck now. The first man yells, but his voice cracks. His eyes dart to the others. His teammates are still backing away, unable to take their eyes off the creature. The mermaid roars again, louder this time, and her body twists in the net, sending a wave of panic through the men. They know now that this is no mere fish or sea creature, it's something far more dangerous. But what's worse is the realization creeping over them. This creature is not alone. If one exists, there must be more. The net snaps with a final sharp crack as the mermaid thrashes violently. For a moment, everything freezes. The men stare at the creature, at the wild, unblinking eyes. Her body is still trapped, but she's no longer struggling. Her chest rises and falls, and then, with a sudden motion, she lurches forward. Her mouth opens wide in one last scream, the sound piercing the silence of the night, before everything goes quiet. The net scrapes across the floor as the mermaid fights, trying to break free once more. They're not safe, not by a long shot. And as the men stand there, caught between their fear and their duty, the sea begins to whisper. This isn't the end. It's just the beginning. The creature is no longer contained. And soon, the ocean will come for them all. The camera captures the eerie silence that follows the mermaid's disappearance beneath the waves. The men stand still, staring at the spot where she vanished, the weight of what they just witnessed sinking in. They can hardly believe what just happened, the unbelievable truth that still hangs heavy in the air. But it doesn't end there. Cut to a new angle. We see a different crew member standing at the side of the ship, looking out over the water. His breath is visible in the cold air as he peers into the vast, unending ocean, unsure of what's lurking just below the surface. There's a sense of tension, of something unsaid that hangs over him. He can't shake the feeling that they're not alone. The camera zooms in on the ship's edge. There, hanging over the side, a hand suddenly emerges from the water. It's glistening, the pale skin shining in the weak sunlight. The fingers grasp onto the edge of the boat, steadying itself, as if the creature is pulling itself up. And then, the face appears. This time, it's not just a flicker in the water or a fleeting glimpse. This is real. The mermaid's eyes meet the crew members', her gaze piercing through the veil of water and into his soul. There's no aggression in her eyes, no anger. Instead, there's something deeper, a sense of longing, as if she is searching for something, or perhaps someone. The men who saw her earlier now feel a shiver run down their spines. They understand. The mermaid's hand, still gripping the edge of the boat, tightens. Her tail flicks slowly, almost gently, breaking the stillness of the ocean's surface. She's not the only one here. There's more to this story than they ever imagined. The men scramble, unsure whether to help, to pull her back into the boat or leave her to her own devices. There's a deep sense of fear, but it's also mixed with awe. They've seen the impossible, and now they're standing at the edge of a much larger mystery. She's not the only one. One of the men mutters, his voice shaking with realization. His words hang in the air, unanswered. The mermaid doesn't respond. She stares at them, waiting, and then begins to slowly retreat back into the water, leaving the crew stunned. The men can't shake the feeling that they've just witnessed something bigger than themselves. As she disappears into the depths, the man who had locked eyes with her reaches out, his hand frozen in midair as if trying to reach her again. He stumbles back, filled with questions, but no answers. His mind races, but there's no way to make sense of what they've just experienced. For a moment, everything is still. The ocean is calm, almost as if nothing happened. But the men know better. What they've just seen is only the beginning. The mermaid was a messenger, a sign of something deeper, something ancient stirring beneath the waves. The crew is left behind, but the mystery continues, unfolding with every passing wave. This was just the beginning. We have so much more to uncover. If you want to dive deeper into the mysteries of the ocean, don't forget to subscribe to CCAM Encounters. We'll be back with more shocking, unexplained encounters that will leave you questioning what lies beneath. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter of CCAM Encounters.